Hello student, in our last class we have studied pinhole camera, which is based on the light travel on a straight line or a straight path. The same thing is that we will discuss today is shadow. So what is shadow? Shadow are formed when light is stopped by an object. Like अगर जब objects पे light is unable to pass on in it, that's form an shadow. Like maximum time shadow is formed an opaque object, because opaque objects does not allow to pass the light. Okay, an object forms shadow on the opposite side to the source of light. Like source of light से जो भी image बनेगी, this is just opposite to the light. So the sunlight also forms shadow of the object which are on the ground or near the ground. Okay, always the shadow is formed on the ground or near the ground. The shadow of an object can be seen only on a screen. So for the shadow we require three basically things, like source of light. We must require a source of light. Second is opaque an object. The object should be opaque so that light cannot pass on that object and form an image or shadow. The third is a screen on which the shadow can be seen. So a screen should be present or should be there to form a shadow. Now we just have to discuss characteristics of shadow. Like the shadow of an object is erect. It means the shadow is same side of up as the object. Like object का जैसा, like he is standing or some object is standing, it's look like the same way. Shadow is forming the same way. Again, the shadow of an object is real because we can see or the image is formed on the screen, irrespective of the color of the object, equal to the object or bigger than the object. Means the shadow not depend on the color of the object. The shadow is always formed in black color. It does not matter whether it's the object color is in which color. The shadow should be of object is always in black form. We have a two important thing, the difference between the pinhole image and the shadow. The first one is the pinhole image of an object is inverted, ulta banta hai. The image of the pinhole is always formed and inverted, whereas the shadow of an object is erect. The second one is the pinhole image of an object is the same color. Like as we have studied, the tree color on the screen is same. The image of the tree color is same as the object of the tree. Okay. So the pinhole image of an object is the same color as the object, but the shadow of an object is always black color. Now come to the reflection of light. So what is a reflection of light? The process of sending back the light rays which fall on the surface of an object is called reflection of light. Here we can see like this object, this image, light AO. Here we can see the AO light is fall on the screen mirror, okay, and come back to its reflect back to OB. That is called reflection of light. Okay, now come to the what is the property or what is the quality to be reflection. Like the object having polished shining surface reflected more light than the object having unpolished. Means if object is polished shining surface, then it reflect more light, it reflect the images. But if I'm talking about the object having unpolished dull surface, it will reflect a little bit. A narrow beam of light is called ray. So a ray beam आएगी which is fall on the mirror, that beam is called ray. We will represent a ray of light by straight line with a arrow head on it. So like I'm showing, this is AO as a arrow, OB is also arrow. The second one is the narrow beam of light before reflection is called incident ray, and after reflection it's called reflected ray. So the ray which is coming from the light and it reflect on the screen, that is called incident ray, and after reflecting back it's called reflected ray. The light hitting the mirror is called incident ray, whereas the light leaving the mirror is called reflected ray. Come to the mirror. An object which reflect light well is called mirror. A plane mirror is a thin, flat and smooth sheet of glass having shining coated silver metal on one side. Means जो mirror होगा which reflect, with the quality of that mirror should be thin, flat and smooth sheet of glass having shining coated or silver metal on one side. The reflection of light in a plane mirror takes place at the silver surface inside it. In our diagram, here we can see in our diagram, we represent a plane mirror by drawing a straight line having a large number of short oblique lines on one side. So this is a plane mirror. You can see where the back side is coated with a silver coat or a red paint, and the corresponding to we represent a line with arrow mark, that is called to show the representation of plane mirror. So let's come how the reflection of light from a mirror different from the reflection of light from other object, like mere object. How the difference, what is the difference between when the object is falling on the mirror or when light is falling on the mirror and when the light is falling on other object? There's a many difference, like the way light is reflected from the surface depend on whether the surface is rough or smooth. So the light की जो rays आएंगी जाएंगी, it's depend on the smooth or roughness. Rough surface, most of the object reflect light in all direction. मतलब जो rough surface होगी, the light reflected back in all direction. That's why it's called irregular reflection. Okay, an example is if the light is falling on it all direction, like paper. When the light is falling on the direction of paper, it reflects in all direction. Similarly, it is due to the irregular reflection of light produced by the rough surface of a piece of white paper that we cannot see the image of our face looking on the piece of paper. For example, like if I want to see my image on the paper, which is not possible because light reflect in all direction. But if I'm talking about the smooth surface of plane mirror, it produce an image of our face when we look into the mirror, just because regular reflection of light. Thank you so much.